If you haven't seen Glitch Productions' newest animated pilot, Knights of Guinevere, yet, you should absolutely do so, ideally before watching this video. I will warn that some of the imagery and subject matter is a bit intense, but given the themes of the work, that's entirely within reason. This story doesn't pull any punches about what exactly it stands for and what its message is, and for that I greatly respect it. I'll be explaining some of the many ways it does so in this video. First, let's look at the framework of the setting. It takes place in a future where interstellar, faster-than-light travel exists. This time period is anything but utopian, however. The greatest problems facing the world today have only been exacerbated. Corporations now have the power to buy up entire planets, with the pilot's main setting of Park Planet being one such example. Although interstellar travel exists, all but the wealthy are priced out of it. Then we get to the environmental conditions of Park Planet, which likely reflect those of other corporate-owned planets. The actual theme park floats above the surface of the planet so that its attendees cannot see the destitution below. Trash from the park is thrown over the edge and into the planet's waterways to be collected and sorted by workers. This is like how in the real world, much solid waste is shipped out to poorer countries and kept in dump sites which the inhabitants of wealthy countries are unlikely to know exist, let alone ever see. Park Planet's pollution has also made its way into the bodies of the working class people who live on it. Many of Park Planet's products are manufactured using a toxic blue dye. A headline briefly appears on screen which reads that babies have been born blue, and several workers are shown to have bodily fluids such as blood and saliva which have turned blue. This definitely alludes to plastic and chemical pollution in real life. On Park Planet, this toxic substance has likely made people too sick to rise up against the corporation that did this to them. Because they are paid low wages, they can't afford to leave the polluted planet they are forced to live and work on, which is just as inescapable as poverty itself. The blue blood symbolism also goes deeper. When we see young Olivia with her Guinevere android at the beginning of the story, the android has blue blood and organs. After the time skip ahead, a poster shows factory workers pouring a bright blue chemical onto a pile of mass-produced Guinevere dolls and bears the message, "We just couldn't do it without you." Since workers' blood has been turned the same blue color, the imagery can be likened to the way that workers metaphorically and literally bleed for the company, working long hours in harsh conditions. There is also the blood on the hands of the corporation due to their actions. This mindless mass production adversely affects the health of humans and the planet, just like generative AI spits out soulless slop to the same detriments in real life. Knights of Guinevere portrays how corporations not only ruin the environment, but also stifle creativity. An early sketch of the Guinevere mascot character is marked with notes from executives on how to make the character's appearance appeal more to the mass market. Guinevere is placed into multiple different roles across a series of films, reminiscent of Barbie in the real world, who is similarly written into multiple roles because she doesn't have a distinct enough personality on her own to not be typecast. Guinevere's movies also bear resemblance to Disney princess movies, and although the Disney princesses are given various names and appearances, they in many ways all might as well be the same character. Live-action remakes of Guinevere's movies have begun to be made despite the fact that no one asked for them. Countless Guinevere androids have been created and deployed to the theme park, but the elderly Olivia is still desperately searching for the original model she lost decades ago. This represents how endless renditions of a product or idea will never match the original version's charm or appeal. Park Planet's working class is also divided from within. Some shop owners put up signs reading "No Crownies," indicating that they refuse to serve park engineers or similar employees with a more direct link to the Park Planet Corporation. When Andy sees one of these signs, she tries to explain to the proprietor that she is just as much under the boot as anyone else, but he and others like him don't want to hear it. They probably assume that because someone works for the company, they must support its ideas and actions. Frankie's boss Sparky also lounges while she performs physical labor. The culture is noticeably individualistic rather than collectivist. Throughout it all, it's obvious that the real-life corporation being criticized is Disney. This is certainly no coincidence since Knights of Guinevere is co-created by Dana Terrace, whose previous series, The Owl House, was treated unfairly by Disney, which produced it. Disney should never have wronged Dana and her show like that, but at the very least she turned that negative experience into some insightful art, this time produced by an independent animation company. The recent rise of indie animation has been encouraging, and I hope Knights of Guinevere can continue being part of it. What do you think of Knights of Guinevere? What other symbolism did you notice in it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. I cover lots of my favorite media on this channel, so if you find that some of it is your favorite too, consider subscribing. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.